third of the population are inbred of the Pakistani population. These are the people that marry their own cousins. It's a terrible, terrible thing that they do. And nobody talks about it. Why don't nobody talk about that in the United Kingdom? Why you marry your cousin? No wonder why you have deformities. No wonder why you have kids that look skinny and just deformed. It's just disgusting. And it's a horrible thing that's happening in the United Kingdom. I hope you guys have like a different prime minister soon because Starmer is a weak, pathetic son of a bitch, and he's an awful, awful guy. It's the same thing as Australia that's happening at the moment. Albanese is horrible. He's so bad that we don't even know what to do with this son of a bitch. And it's a horrible, horrible thing. So this Palestinian license go ahead. And Patty Wong, she's like a lesbian, Jew hating, um, what I don't even know what to call her. She's like an Islamist, and she's Asian too at the same time, and she's our foreign minister. It's a horrible thing. I don't understand why we go through all this, you know. But Hashem has been nice, you know, and he's been doing tremendous things. So all these horrible people will go away at the end of the day, but they'll be reminded. Honestly, they will be reminded what they did when life got. BP, I'm sure you have the same problems in Canada. Oh, is it
No, it's horrible here.
same problem? Not even shocked.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I think in Australia it'll be fixed. I'm not so sure about the United Kingdom. I mean, I think JD Vance said this like 4 months ago when he went to the United Kingdom. He said the United Kingdom will be the first Muslim majority country in Europe that's going to have nuclear weapons. And I think that's true. In the United Kingdom, I think people in the United Kingdom are fucked, honest to God. They're absolutely fucked, and there's nothing you can do about it. France, same thing. Germany, same thing. When Angela Merkel let in 1 million Syrians into Germany, she let in 1 million anti Semites. She didn't know it at the time, but she's an absolute disgrace because the Syrians that ended up in Germany. Look at the rape statistics. Poland now has the lowest rates, and Germany has the highest rates, and the United Kingdom. Why? Because they brought in Islamists into their own country. Because these motherfuckers rape dogs, they rape fucking goats, they rape women, and the people are too scared to be called racist. It's a horrible, horrible thing that's happened in these countries. Shame on those countries. I cannot believe. You know what I think? When they said that the United Kingdom, the sun will never shine on the United Kingdom, I said the sun has set on the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is done because of these people and these absolute low lives reprobates. It's true. The United Kingdom is fucked. I don't think they come back on this.
Yeah, I see a civil war in their future.
Yeah, me too.
We're not in civil war.
I don't understand why these countries let in Pakistanis. What has Pakistan actually done to help the whole world? Sweet fuck all. Nothing. It's a horrible country, Pakistan. They marry their cousins, number one problem. And most children that have like ADHD, and they have like genetical disorders from Pakistani kids. 65% of the women don't work. 55% of the men don't work. Like, what the fuck did they contribute to the United Kingdom? Sweet fuck all. Nothing.
Yep, glitchy for anybody else to say. Thrown out for some.
Sorry, Mom and Dad, but I had to come. Boxes and crates with food and medicine behind me. Delivered to the people of Gaza, who are still suffering and starving. How is this possible? Well, the world continues to blame Israel for this, when in reality, Israel is doing everything in its power to actually get this food delivered to the Palestinian people. But it's Hamas and the UN who are complicit in the suffering and starvation of the people of Gaza. Some of these crates have been here for weeks, if not months. We have sugar, we have cheese, we have tuna, literally everything. It's probably going moldy at this point, honestly. And this is exactly Hamas's plan. To paint Israel as the perpetrator of all of this. When in reality, it's Hamas that continues to use its own people as pawns. We see it when they use their own children as human shields. And now we're seeing it as they use food as a weapon of war. Truly one of the most pathetic, disgusting acts that I have witnessed in my entire life, and that's why I had to come to Gaza. I got my bulletproof vest on. I don't care. I will do anything to share with you the truth. And the truth is that Hamas is solely responsible for all of this food not being delivered to its own people.
Yeah, that's such a fact, and that's so true. Why is it that the whole world has the UNHCR as the only refugee commission that can look after you, but the Palestinians have UNRWA? What makes them so special? Why they're so special that they get their own refugee council and nobody else in the world has it? Gigi Hadid is considered a refugee
That's
and she
right.
has
Yes,
millions and
it is.
millions of dollars. This is just a game from the get go. And that's why I say, like, the idea of they have to take Gaza and they have to take they have to take Judea and Samaria, you know, and stop calling that the West Bank. I think it's ridiculous. Limor Shamid, that's the same Hebrew. So I think what they're doing is a horrible, horrible thing. And but look, the Western world has never been a friend. there's a reason why the state of Israel exists. Look at the horrible things that happen, and these are thick white colonialist people, and they did the same thing, and it's horrible.
Just look. If this had been released years ago, plumbers might have been out of jobs by now. In our home, no matter which drain gets clogged.
This is real science. Z-Biotics pre-op
Well,
on my
they are.
show Friday night, and
If you're
he,
getting beaten up in Morocco, or you're getting beaten up in
nobody's
Algeria,
more
you're getting
respected
beaten
these
up in
days,
Tunis, if you're
certainly in
getting
the
beaten up in
podcast
Egypt.
world, for the health
You
and
can go to the
wellness
state of
thing.
Israel.
Yeah.
I have a
And
good
he said
video.
to me,
Hold on.
Welcome to Hamas. If Hamas fires rockets from a roof of a school, and then Israel fires back to destroy those rocket launchers, Hamas can blame the destruction of the school on Israel. Hamas mass. If the IDF calls, texts, and sends leaflets to Palestinian civilians warning them to leave areas that are not safe, and then Hamas lies and tells their civilians to ignore those warnings, Hamas can blame any civilian death on Israel. Hamas mass. Building a network of terror tunnels 350 miles long instead of a single safe room in Gaza so that you can get away with terror while blaming Israel for not protecting civilians. Hamas mass. If Israel kills a terrorist who just so happens to be wearing a press vest, Hamas can blame Israel for targeting journalists. Hamas mass. When genocidal terrorists enter into Israel and commit an act of genocide against Israelis, Hamas will blame Israel for genocide when it retaliates. Hamas mass. If Hamas proposes its own terms for a ceasefire and publicly accepts, they can accuse Israel as being the obstacle to peace. Hamas mass. If Israel sends in 300,000 tons of aid to Gaza, but Hamas steals it for themselves and sells it back to Palestinians while price gouging them, they can accuse Israel of creating famine. Hamas mass.
Is that mask? Mask? M-A-S-K?
Math.
Oh, Hamas mask. Thank you. I couldn't tell what you were saying.
So I see that you like the propaganda.
I love it.
What?
I love it. In the title, Yaakov. It's brought to you by our sweetie.
How's everyone doing today?
So hang on, just look at this guy in the chat, Cairo, what he wrote. The rest of the world and the West want every single IOF terrorist soldier to drop dead. So you want my kids to die? Is that what you want, Cairo? Cryo, or whatever, Cairo.
Who is that, Drew?
Cairo, why don't you come up and speak? Come
Who is
on.
that that wanted more deaths after you mentioned the bus to report? TV?
Aleph had the news report of, I think,
No,
seven.
some asshole came in and said he wished more.
Oh, that was
He said
Prince.
reported-
Prince, yeah.
I don't know.
These are clubhouse terrorists.
Yeah, the Western world wants every IOF terrorist to drop dead. And you said what?
What's IOF mean?
Preferably them first.
What's IOF mean? What's IOF mean?
The Israeli Occupation Forces.
And you said preferably you want Aleph's kids to die first?
Is that what his name is?
Is that what you said?
Oh, my kids are in the IDF, so he wants my kids to die.
Yeah,
Are
there's
they in
no
Gaza?
such thing called the IOF.
No, but he said I preferably want that person's kids to die first. Is that what you're gonna stand on that? And is that what you want?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You just said that, but it's okay. It doesn't matter, bro. The rooms are all recorded anyways. All you little terrorist
We
sex
don't like
workers.
Jews get.
I know. And where are you from, shitbag?
I'm American. You can't call me a shitbag. You guys are my welfare people.
Well, you're a fucking chump, that's what you are.
So, are you upset? Are you upset about the money that was sent to Ukraine? Are you upset about the money that was sent to Ukraine?
You guys are my bums.
Are you upset about the money that was sent to Ukraine?
You guys are my bums. I gave you guys money.
Listen, if it wasn't for us assholes, you little shitheads wouldn't be around. Are you upset about Ukraine? Why do you support Israel every day?
If it wasn't for Israel.
Why do you support Israel every day? I'm just curious.
Because our politicians are cucked out.
But why do you personally support Israel every day? If you hate Israel so much.
The Americans want to, like the American people.
Do you know how to answer a question or you just talk? Why do you support Israel every day?
Obviously, I don't support the pedophile state.
Oh, pedophile state. Okay. So you know you support Israel every day, right? Every day. Yeah, you help Israel grow and be stronger. You know
Rabbis
that.
support rabbis that circumcise little boys with their mouth.
Rabbis don't circumcise little boys with their mouth. That's
They don't?
misinformation. No,
No,
they don't.
that's a lie.
No, that's not a lie.
That's a lie.
So you're telling me they bite the foreskin off with their mouth?
Yeah, maybe your rabbi does. You should ask.
So maybe you haven't been to a circumcision.
Maybe you should ask
Yeah,
your rabbi.
Yeah.
Maybe less than 500 families out of 16 million practice that. Like it's a rounding error on a rounding error
500.
on a rounding error.
Okay.
It is like
You said nobody does it.
They don't, because you're a lie. And even Yaakov is giving a false statement right now, because that's not true. I've been to it. No. My brother's religious. He's a rabbi, and I've been to a circumcision, and they use a straw to suck out the blood, and that's a health measure. They don't suck on little babies' penises like what you're trying to portray right now.
That's why babies.
And they don't bite the foreskin off like you just said, you fucking weirdo.
How did they get sexually transmitted diseases?
They don't. You're lying.
And you said nobody, and your friend Yaakov just said
no.
500.
I said I didn't say that. I did not say as you did it.
You don't want to say it anymore. You don't want to stand on it anymore.
Oh, you're trying to twist his words right now, but it's cool.
You heard
This
him.
guy's an angry He's an angry black man. That's what
I know, he's an angry black kid that has an identity crisis. That he's not. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. We already know, bro. We already know who you are. You fucking moron. You're on Clubhouse app. We already hacked everything about you, you moron.
Okay, alright.
Okay, no problem.
So why is your rabbi sucking baby dick?
Why don't you tell us? They don't.
Ignorant. You guys know they have a name for it. You can go Google this right now. Like, stop lying to people. The internet's here.
Are you upset that there's pedophilia in your family and you're projecting and trying to blame the rest of the world that everybody's a pedophile because that's what's going on with you and your family?
You live in America.
Do you know who your
Yes.
Do you know who your father was?
Okay. Do you have any
Kyle
problem
Shithead, do you know who your father
Israel
is?
not giving us back our pedophiles so we can convict them?
Do
You know the difference between your father and a park bench? A park bench can support a family. Your father can't.
As an American, don't you want Israel to send back the pedophiles so we can convict them?
You know what the difference is between a pizza and your father? A pizza can feed your family. Your father can't.
I think we got them.
You didn't get nothing. You don't know how to have proper discussion. All you do is talk. You're like a fucking retarded idiot.
I'll have a proper
You just keep talking and talking. You don't know how to have proper discourse.
Okay.
That's the problem with you people. You're indoctrinated. You're fucking filled with misinformation. And you're angry because of the color of your skin. You should love yourself.
I'll answer.
You should love yourself.
But you gotta answer my question truthfully. You can go first. I'll answer truthfully.
Why do you hate Jews?
I don't hate Jews.
He's very angry with us.
I hate Zionists.
You don't even know what the
What's a Zionist? Okay, what is a Zionist?
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
one
start
second.
with
Now,
the
that's the second question. Can I ask one and then you can ask?
No, what is a Zionist?
A Zionist are people that want a homeland for the Jews, but Zionism in practice is terrorism, rape, occupation, torture, pillaging.
Well, this guy just defined what happened on October 7th from Hamas.
Okay, so now can I ask you a
Pretty
question?
good, you little goof. Go ahead.
Okay, but you're gonna answer truthfully. It's not a disrespectful question.
Go ahead.
As an American, do you not have problem with Israeli government not sending us back our pedophiles so we can convict them?
Oh my god, you are such a fucking retard.
Which one?
Answer the question. And then
Give
you
me a name. Which one?
You gotta say the name. You gotta say who you want back.
Which one? Give me the name of the pedophile you want back.
Do you have a problem?
Yeah, I would answer. Give me a name. It's not like a widespread answer for each one. I will try. Give me the name of the person.
First, you gotta
How
answer.
can I?
How can we get back if you're not telling us who?
I wanna answer you. Let me give me the name.
Who
Give me the name. Hold on, Yaakov.
extradited?
1 second, Yaakov.
Extradited.
1 second, everybody.
You have
Wow,
to work
guys.
under a legal.
1 second, everybody. Okay, 1 second. Hey, Cairo, you asked us to tell you why we are not giving away pedophiles. Can you give me the name of one pedophile so I can look it up?
Who's requested to be extradited?
So give me a name. Give me a name.
Ask the question again, and then you can ask me the
Okay.
second.
Oh my god, this guy's got a fucking trauma like to his head. He doesn't know how to answer a proper question. Which fucking name?
Do you have a problem?
Which name? Who?
Israeli government.
Who? Which name?
Not sending.
Who? Which name? Who? Which name?
To be extradited. It works with legal extradition
Suspects.
Who is in the Israeli government is preventing this?
Pedophilia.
Who is doing
He
this
can't
in the
name
Israeli
anybody. He can't name anybody.
No, he has his facts, I'm sure. Give me the name of the person in the government, or can you show me like the decision?
Along with this propaganda. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, give me the name
Jay and I are both listening to that replay, like, oh my god. So he's an alcoholic meth head from Texas.
Yeah, fuck Marshall.
Where'd Marshall go? I think he went to get another drink.
That was funny. He's
Dude,
really
great.
annoying. He is incredibly annoying. Like, I mean, I thought it was funny that he even admitted that he got shit-faced and fell on his electric scooter. I'm surprised he even spoke about it.
Yeah, I mean, some days Marshall is like a thoughtful interlocutor, you know, and other days he's just like off his rocker. I like Marshall.
No, I like him too in the sense that he's not like actually a malignant, mean person. You know, like even when he insults you, it's like a rather pathetic, insult. It's never like, super mean because he's just not that kind of a person,
Well, buddy, I'm posting selfies on Facebook promoting my content, prepping for an interview at 12. I did chest day today. I burned like how many calories? My active calorie burn, according to my Apple Watch today, is 556. Jump rope for like 20 minutes today. Did chest day. Did yoga.
Nice.
Yeah, bro.
Well, now you got a little extra work to do in the evening with a John Kitover candidate congressman fundraiser.
I'm going to interview you like a journalist.
Exactly. That's what I need. I need content with professional interviewers because it sounds professional. And the NPR interview may have dropped already. I got to check.
I have my microphone.
Let me see.
Look at this selfie I just posted, buddy. I just posted this on Facebook. Well, content promotion selfie.
I bet I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe they'll actually pull their interview with me because they want to protect Darren LaHood. I don't know, but they said it's going to come out today.
He got their funding. Fuck them. Fuck him.
I don't think he cut their funding. They're probably working on it because he asked for a follow-up because I claimed that he's a traitor to the Second Amendment. And he emails me, he says, why, I need a link or some kind of documentation supporting your claim. So I send him their own link from their own website where he says he wants to raise the minimum age of gun ownership. And I'm kind of laughing because I didn't even realize it was their own link. So hopefully it comes out. But there was more I wanted to say because he won't sign the discharge paperwork to Speaker Johnson with regards to the Epstein Transparency Act. I forgot to bring that up in the interview, but I have another interview with a major local newspaper tomorrow. But they want to see my resume first, so I have to get on my laptop and send them a copy of my resume prior to the interview.
I love it.
But yeah, stir the pot tonight when everybody else is stirring the pot. But stir it with me, and we'll raise money, and we'll create a great big room, and it'll be fun. And you'll be the center of attention because people will be hating on you, saying, "Why the f are you platforming John Kitover?" And you can say, "Hey, he's running for Congress. You want to see his FEC link? You want to see his latest interviews? You want to see his campaign website?" Let people get angry over this because this is what people are doing is they're just they're just bringing problems and focusing on, however it can make them angry. It's a bunch of children on this app. It's retards. Tell Jane, let's do it at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock your time. Did you see that execution in Philadelphia?
No.
Yeah, this fucking piece of shit pulled a gun out and executed somebody in the streets in broad daylight.
Where?
Google it. All right, I gotta go. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy.
Bye.
By the way, did you guys see that clip, the dash cam clip from Jerusalem, the terrorist attack?
No, do you have it?
Yeah, I have it. I can post it just a
Can
second.
you post it and I'll pin it to the top, please?
Othello, what, did you get kicked out of that room? You can't go in there, so you got to listen to the third-party stream? Congratulations, Othello. I heard you getting roasted yesterday.
The last part is the interesting part. You can see how civilians are sneaking up to terrorists to annihilate them.
For everybody that wants to see the video, it's posted on the Jumbotron on the top of the screen. You just click the link and you can see the dashcam footage that Samson is talking about. Oh, make me mod, Daniel.
What?
Make me mod?
What happened?
I don't know what happened. It's okay. Sam, what happened to Josh?
I think Josh has been sleeping on the rug the last couple of days. He was still referencing that organization, the one with the fake scholars, signing up for $30.
It's crazy. Yeah. He's probably upset that he paid his $30 and they closed it down.
Okay, so I found it. Because and if there's someone that is knows about massive teaching and can explain this thing. So it says Allah related, the messenger of Allah sent for me, so we set out until I reached such and such a place. And hold on, let's flip it. And he traced the line for me and told me, stay between the two edges of this. Do not go outside of it. If you go outside of it, it's over for you. Abdallah said, and so I stayed there. Then the messenger of Allah went off a stone's throw away, or a little further. Then he, the narrator, mentioned a group of male members who looked like Zut people, as a hen said, Allah willing, with no clothes on, but I did not see their genitals, tall and scrawny. And they came and started to ride the messenger of Allah. And the Prophet Allah began to recite to them, and they started to move closer and lean around me and get in my way, and I became intensely terrified of them. So I sat down. And when the morning light broke, they began to go away. Then the messenger of Allah came back exhausted and in pain, or practically in pain from how they had ridden him. He said, indeed, I am exhausted. Then the messenger of Allah put his head in my lap, and the scrawny ones came with tall white garments on, but the messenger of Allah had fallen asleep, and I became more intensely terrified of them than I was the first time. What do we learned from this shipment.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, how do you interpret this?
Well, my mind is a bit specific, so.
This is the reason why you study 2 and 2 at the yeshiva, in case you have someone like a dirty man.
I was actually trying to see how they would explain, like, why was he exhausted and in pain after.
You want me to tell you how twisted they are and what they would say? I already know.
Okay.
That he transformed into a donkey. And they rode him from one desert to another. That's what they would say.
They already wrote on the occupied territory. It was like they accused of being pelted. You should see how Al Jazeera wrote it up already.
Bro, in Times of Israel says 5 injured. It's the craziest shit.
Where in Israel, Times of Israel says about the attack today, they say 5 injured.
Yeah, it says right here. It says 6 people. No, the Times of Israel, news from Israel, the Middle East. Hold on. So, okay, they just changed it. 6 killed, 6 seriously injured. Jerusalem has terrorists. Yeah, it's 7. As open fire on a bus. Okay. At the scene of Jerusalem terror attack, Netanyahu says Israel fighting mighty war against terror. Army boosting West Bank presence after shooting. IDF says it struck sites belonging to the elite Hezbollah unit in Lebanon, Becha Valley. 3 Houthi drones shot down in the south within an hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, Al Jazeera. 6 people have been killed in a shooting at attack in occupied East Jerusalem. Israeli authorities said
it wasn't even East Jerusalem.
It's in the northwest Jerusalem. And also Macron said something about East Jerusalem, and it's just not true. And you know, this is like the news in Israel on a Monday morning that, like, you know, 3 rockets or 3 drones coming in from Yemen, and terrorists just shooting at people. It's like 7 dead. And this is like mostly religious, very humble, not humble, how do you call it, like, not rich, how do you say, not poor, but like very, poor for choice in a way. They're not modest. Thank you very much. Like, most of them do not serve the IDF, so it's not like a military target. It was just another terror attack. And you know, all the stories about, you know, English job, the entire world goes mad. Like, I don't think that this is even mentioned. And then people see, I see it in my own eyes. No, they don't see what is going on in their own eyes. This is not normal. And we do not accept this.
Jeez, trying to talk about normal. Hello.
Hi, Josh. Can you guys cash in your house tickets? Join the house, top of the screen. Click the house name and it'll say join the house. You can have more interesting houses.
I got a big fat check I want to cash in as well.
Send it to me. I'll take it.
Josh, what do you say about the shooting that took place in Jerusalem that killed 7 Israelis?
Terrible. I just don't know why anyone would do that. What's going on? Is something going on over there in that region?
Yeah, there's a lot of like indoctrination to hate, and there is encouragement of like those terrorists.
You know what? My mistake. I didn't introduce Josh. I didn't introduce Josh properly. Hi, this is Josh. He goes by his PTR as Josh Sirota. Josh supports Hamas.
Jewish name. It's a Jewish name.
No, Sirota is not actually.
Yeah, I understand that he supports Hamas.
Sirota is actually an Italian name.
I think what he's trying to say, like in an undertone, is basically that there is some kind of justification for this terror attack in his mind. So obviously he supports this resistance.
And they're not. He says they're also not terrorists. they've committed some acts of terror on October 7th, and they were wearing all uniforms, but they decided to take the uniforms off October 8th.
I thought the problem. The problem with the Palestinians.
That's right, baby. So, this was. Hold on, David. I came in here.
Lies is so deep that it's really hard for them.
So this is two culprits who all they did was a terrorist attack. They didn't target any military outposts, they didn't retrieve any hard drives, they didn't take any soldiers captives. So this could be generalized because it's only two people as a terrorist attack. No, I was not justifying.
I was not just people because if you understand, like for example, their weapons, you understand it's not weapon. They had infrastructure, they had network. The fact that it's two people and not one person actually even confirms even stronger that it's a network that is operating this. You don't know anything about this. You're just trying to legitimize it and say, oh, just two people. That is happening like all the time. We have like we stop basically every day. We stop a terror attack. Every time it's only one person. No, there is a problem.
I'm sure there's a network behind it, but the weapons that they used were not very hard to make. They were made inside the West Bank or
yes, exactly. Not by them. It requires. They didn't make it at home. It requires this network of manufacturing those guns. Yes.
Or stealing them. I mean,
Carlo, I think it's called.
Yeah, I think it was inspired by Czechoslovakian weapon or something like that. But yeah, the weapons that they use are not hard to make, and I'm not even legitimizing it. So first you said justified, now legitimized. We're getting closer. I'm saying
no. You said justified because if anything happens that could. Why would they do this? There is like you would asking basically. Why would something like this happen? Is if there's a justification for something like this?
No, not justification. That's the part where you're injecting.
Okay, so my answer is correct. That there's indoctrination. That is why it is happening.
I wouldn't say indoctrination. I would say a lot of it's anger. I would say a lot of it has to do with the fact that their people are getting blown into pieces and their babies are getting abandoned in incubators. I think this is a repercussion of that.
Really, you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's always and Israel is not a repercussion. Israel is like always at fault, and the Palestinians are always repercussions. So they have to go and slaughter innocent Jews on the street because it makes a lot of difference. The fact is that this terror attack, like any other terror attack, just makes life shittier for the Palestinians. For you to then come and say that they're oppressed. They're oppressed for, not oppressed, they are being blocked for a reason. There is a checkpoints for a reason. There is a blockade for a reason. And you see the reason. You just don't see it as, you see it as a legitimate thing, so it's not a problem. For us, it is a problem. So you need to understand that we call the shots there, and not your opinion and not your narrative, but facts on the ground. And facts on the ground that it is a terror attack. And it's not acceptable, but it is acceptable in some societies. Even people like you in the West are justifying it, finding reason instead of calling it out. So we have to do it alone, despite the fact that the opinion is against it.
No, I'm saying it's a little bit of both of what you're saying. I'm saying that it's wrong, but it's also a repercussion of what's been going on. And then you say, well, we can go in circles back and forth about, well, this is why there's a blockade, and they did this because of blockade, but there's a blockade because it happened. And it goes all the way back, and this is how we start arguing about 48 or 18, like 19.
No, don't forget about 48. Because the Palestinian identity and ideology started like in the mid-60s, like this creation of this political ideology of Palestinians.
No,
I mean, if there was no war in 67, where would be the Palestinians? You know what? Let me ask you this. If we had lost the war of 48, there would be Jordan, there would be Egypt, there would be no Palestinian. There would be no Palestine. And Palestinians were created in 1967 when they said, okay, this part is Jordan, this part is not. You are Palestinians, you are Jordanian, you are Egyptian, and that's it.
No,
this is how you created that.
Geographically, the landmass between the Jordan River and the sea has always been referred to as Palestine.
Actually, no. It was always referred to as Syria. It was like during the Ottoman Empire, they didn't know what Palestine is. This was called Syria, and when the British mandate took the mandate, they brought the name back Palestine, and it was including Transjordan, not just the land that we're on, also Jordan. Look at the map of the British mandate of Palestine. You will see that its entire map is including Jordan. And before that, it was South Syria.
Wait,
Not,
yes. Do you know what trans means, Josh? Trans? The overlap between the territories is for them to decide what the Arabs wanted to do, but I will say that the nationalist idea and identity of Palestine and Arabs in Palestine existed before the British mandate. They also
Arabs in Palestine
so
are saying
much
Palestinian
allow me to
identity
finish.
as a Palestinian, not as that they were colonized during the British mandate.
They had their own flag. It's the same one they have now, but it had a cross and a crescent. They helped the British fight the
It's the Arab League's flag. It's not their flag. It's the same flag as Jordan. It's the same flag as most of the Arab countries. Yes, dude. Look at the Jordanian flag.
This
it's the
flag.
same thing with a star.
Yeah, okay, you can't say the Kuwaiti flag is the same as the UAE flag just because they're similar and they use the same colors. The Palestinian flag.
Yeah, the Palestinian flag is like exactly like the Jordanian flag.
And I understand it wasn't the official flag, and neither was the Zionist one with the gold star. I'm saying that they had a sense of identity, so much so that they helped the British fight the Ottomans.
Can you be more specific? No, the Arabs didn't have a sense of identity. Actually, they were insulted, if you would call the Palestinians, because they saw themselves as Arabs. And you will see by the last names also exactly where they're coming from. The Palestinians.
What are you gonna do about it? Kick me from the room like a little girl? Little baby boy.
Even for 2 years. Look at Unrwa's mandate.
Oh, I don't care. Go ahead. I've been doing this 5 years. They ain't stopped me yet.
I'm a Palestinian. But you can see by their last names. The last names say exactly where they come from.
We've seen this debunk before, so
Can I ask you a question? Josh, I want to ask you a question.
You're so stupid. I didn't betray you. Dumbass looks at my YouTube schmuck.
The Jordans, as a consequence of the war between 47 and 49, when the Jordans they went to these so-called Palestinians and asked them, what do you want us to do with you? Why did they want to be a part of Jordan? Why did they want Jordanian country?
wait,
Why didn't they say we want our own state?
Was this when Jordan occupied the West Bank? Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for using that one.
Those are scam artists.
Their occupation wasn't violent. It was more to protect the Palestinians that were
Do
there.
you think it was an occupation? Because the Palestinians, they don't say it was an occupation.
It was more of a mandate. I'm using your mandate.
Recognize by how many countries, John?
It was not allocated to them. It was allocated to the Arab states. It's not part of. Jordan was created in 1946, unilaterally by the British. So the partition comes in 1947, and the land that goes from that was west of the Jordan, that wasn't part of the Jewish state, was part of an Arab state, not part of Jordan. Then the war breaks out. Jordan, under the command of a British lieutenant general, occupies that land. They win it in a war. Okay, so they won that. It's not like they said, oh, we want to be a part of Jordan. No, they won it in a war. So it becomes occupation.
Okay. So,
That's the dimension.
What was the original question?
It wasn't given
with the basic.
So the question was, when they were asked, they were literally asked by the Jordanians, what do you want us to do to you in this territory? Why didn't they say we want our own state, we want our own Palestinian state?
I don't know. I think they decided for themselves what they wanted, and I think
yes,
that they wanted.
And they said we want to be equal citizens, we want to be Jordanians, we want equal representation in the Jordanian parliament, etc. So, like, how does this align with what you're saying, that there's always been a Palestinian identity and sense of, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, nationality, ethnicity, I don't know. Go ahead.
Well, they had just lost a war. I think these were people. I think you could probably do the same thing in Gaza now if Egypt was like, hey, we'll take you in. And they're like, well, if it's this or another Deir Yassin massacre, we'll rather be under Egypt. Because, they didn't have the resources and the militia and the manpower to take what they wanted. So
They
we
had
just kind
7
of accepted it.
armies and militias against
Was
the
that an
newly
answer to my
created
question?
Jewish state.
Was that supposed to be an answer to my question?
Yeah, I just don't think that they had the ability to get what they really wanted.
They were literally given a voice. They could say what they want.
But Samson, you have to remember that even right before that, even before Jordan occupied the West Bank, they were offered the ability to take the West Bank by the United Nations or the League of Nations into a state, and they rejected it. So they rejected it then, they rejected it afterwards.
And to
And so
know
they
some of the
didn't want to.
Palestinian people, click on the graph at the link attached above, and you will see that's quote. That's a search through all books published by Google. It indexes it's an ngram viewer, so it indexes every book that they have from 1800 to 2022. And it's a search for quote in quotes Palestinian people, meaning Palestinian and people have to be next to each other, not Palestinian people, but Palestinian people. And you'll see right after 1964 how that flies up. That's when that concept was invented by the Russians in 1964 with the Yasser Arafat. It wasn't around before that. Take a look at that.
I'm not sure. This is just a graph. It doesn't have any context to it.
Context is every reference to quote Palestinian people in every book that's indexed by Google.
Well, that doesn't mean anything. Just because I don't care if they, at this point, they're still not calling themselves Palestinian people. These people had an identity to this land. They're Arabs, even if they call themselves Arabs. These are the people that had lived there for centuries.
So the identity was Palestinian before.
Well, they had a flag. The land was called Palestine. Before, a long time ago, it was called Syria, Palestine.
Josh, when you say they've lived there for centuries, I mean, the population boom looks like it was a fraction, both the Jews and the Arabs, in the 1900s from what it was in 1948. And like it was a small population. There were small little villages and settlements, and there were Jewish communities as well as Arab communities that were like the Falahadin. They worked the land for some landowner over in Turkey. There were not a lot of different families and cultures and civilizations and temples and churches and roads and cops, and there was no infrastructure. It was nothing. Before 1900.
I have a book. It has a lot of pictures of agriculture, culture.
Someone with the book? What's the book called?
I have to see. It's like Palestine and something, but it's like leading up to it's like everything before 1948.
That's post 1900. I'm talking about the period before 1900.
Oh, well, before that, I mean, it was the Ottoman Empire for a long time. I think even a lot of
it was occupied during the Crusades. That's a few hundred years earlier.
Yeah. Oh, way before.
I'm saying you have to realize that like this region is just like populating the remains of the ancient Jewish state. It's like, should we use it? Should we not use it? Should we let the Jews in? Shouldn't we?
Which the Caliph did bring in a lot of Jews back in.
Yeah, and the Jews entered into the age of nationalism where they no longer asked permission to live in their homeland.
And also,
a lot of them converted to Islam and Christianity.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Forcibly. Mahmoud Abbas, the head of the PA?
Yeah, I don't like him.
Yeah, his family was from Safad in English, Safad. In January 1st, 1837, there was an earthquake. The local Arab population blamed the Jews and forced them to convert whatever you want. His family was part of that.
Are you talking about the looting of Safad?
What?
The looting, known as the looting of Safad?
No, that was something else entirely. This is an earthquake in 1837. I believe it was 1837.
Oh, okay. Well, why are you guys causing earthquakes?
Oh, now we cause the earthquakes.
I'm kidding. Look,
don't make those jokes, man.
I'm calling you more like you're in for a trip.
What I'm trying to say is not a question of like population swelling, which happened on both sides to tip the scales. I'm saying infrastructure development and really more like self-sufficiency, sovereignty, modern statehood. The Jews of Israel, together with foreign Jews that were not in Israel, decided that they were going to make their own Jewish decisions in their Jewish homeland. A perfectly reasonable choice most every nation state makes.
What does that mean, a Jewish homeland? Like, are we talking about which borders? The ancient kingdom of Israel? Or the kingdom of Judea and Samaria?
You're saying like ideally or just like practically what we can get?
Yeah, like who drew up these lines?
Ideally, you'd want, the full biblical messianic promise from the river to the sea.
I think it's more.
Wait one second.
I think it's river to river.
The lines are the result of purchasing land and the modern day forest race relative to the establishment of the state of the modern day society. So there's no such thing as like somebody did draw up the lines randomly. The Jews took them. That was the original borders, and then they formed borders that were subsequently followed by the Arabs, and then they established what we have today, the 48 borders, 67 borders. And also, to the point, even when Jews were like living amongst other people in other lands, including the Ottoman Empire, people still wrote about them in distinct groups. I don't know if there are very many ideas of the Palestinians being a distinct group from other Arabs living in the Ottoman Empire.
Well, of course it was. Why else would they fight them with the British?
It wasn't just the Palestinians.
There was a general Arab presence.
You don't think that Arabs saw themselves different from the Turks?
They did. They still do.
Yeah, Arab versus Turks is different than Arab.
But that doesn't mean the Arabs saw each other as different from each other.
Well, I would say that's a good thing, but
that's why they all joined together in an Arab league. We're just saying that there was no Palestinian state that was trying to be preserved by the Arab compatriots of the Palestinians. The Arabs wanted to join as an Arab alternative to the existence of the state of Israel.
Before, yes, exactly.
They tend to think of themselves without borders. Like, these lines on the maps are not what they're doing.
But that's for them to decide if later on they become a state. But here's my question: like, what do you think if like Herzog was like, oh, well, let's go to Madagascar, let's not mess with the Arabs? What do you think that would look like today?
Briefly, they tried it. They thought about it.
Uganda plan was put before the first World Zionist Conference and voted down.
Israel was not even close to Plan B. Like, the Holocaust happened. It forced everyone's hand. The Jews were staying put. And, probably the trains and the boats and permitted immigration would have tipped the numbers if you let the Jews in.
Zionists were already outside before the Holocaust.
Yes, and it was already an alternative plan from multiple alternative plans to deal with the dying Jews in Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
Zionism was the plan that survived the destruction from the Holocaust.
I regret not working out my hairline before.
Zionism was the plan. Well, Zionism was before the Holocaust. So.
That's why I'm saying Zionism was the plan to deal with the Jews of Europe that survived the destruction of the Jews of Europe.
Yeah, from the pogroms prior.
Yes, from the earlier problems that the Jews of Europe were facing.
But it wasn't just that, Nick said. You have to remember also that there were several forms of Sephardic Zionism.
Yes.
Already the Yemenites that were moving in.
The religious community was consulted and they discussed. Zionism is a movement and it comprised the entirety of the Jewish nation. You can't just place it as one thing. But I'm saying the starting impetus that drew the attention, that grew Zionism when Herzl wrote of it, it was because of the concern of the death of the Jews in Europe and a
tangible investment that the Jews could do to secure against it. And there were alternative proposals. There were Jewish communities in America. And there were alternate proposals like go to Uganda because it was democratic. They were exploring their options. But like, yeah, Jewish homeland in the ancestral old cities of Jewish places. Aside from like the essential like constitutional claim of Judaism for certain like named cities such as Shechem, Hebron, Jerusalem, not named in the 5 books, Shechem, or what's called Tzfat, a later settled Jewish and continually occupied Jewish city, right? Meaning they were building a nation off of the history of the Jews to deal with the problem that the Jews found themselves stateless throughout all of Europe. And the problem of statelessness was not resolved quick enough for the Jewish state to be a solution.
The Jewish population prior to 1900 was like 5%, I think. And I'm aware that a lot of Jews didn't even want to go to be in the desert.
They didn't. Even after the Holocaust, the numbers swelled to like 600,000. They ran away to wherever they could survive, and a lot of it was America, and like some of them got to Israel.
I think the problem with what you're saying is, this was a plan for the Jews in diaspora, but you're not taking into account the people that have always been there, which, as I mentioned, a lot of them were just Jews that converted, you know. So you get the Jews in diaspora get a stay at the expense of the indigenous people that were there.
What Jews that converted? We're talking about the Jewish regions, the regions that kept to the Jewish narrative and history and culture and nationhood, like Tzfat. Tzfat is like a classic case. Hebron, you had Jewish communities spread throughout. Like, you're right, it wasn't so easy to just like take them all. And like land swaps, moving the people would have been like the logical, obvious choice to make a contiguous Jewish community. But alternatively, you could just like live nicely together and have the Jews of Hebron not massacred. But when you do massacre the Jews of Hebron, the Jews that are coming to support the existing Jewish communities are going to start defending the Jews of Hebron, contrary to prior historical precedent. That's the problem of statehood. You can't kill us anymore.
Well, Hebron was a terrible, tragic massacre, just that there, skirmishes happening on both sides.
Which one?
And I'm not saying it's a justification, but it's not like they just decided to do it out of pure anti-Semitism. They were just people that were concerned with the mass migration of Jewish people to Palestine. We're probably going to see something like that in America pretty soon, or probably in some places of Europe.
What are we going to see?
People starting to kill immigrants.
But you know that the Arabs that you talk about as like indigenous, you're missing the point that many of them, and there's like enough documentation that I can show you if you want from articles written back then about how they're like hundreds of thousands and come to the land in order to have better life, in order to work, because the Zionists were there, because the British were there. As I told you, you can see by their last name where they came. You present them as if they are like the indigenous people that did not immigrate there. They immigrated also there.
Well,
so why are they indigenous and we, that it's our ancestral homeland, we're not indigenous?
Between 1932 and 1947, at least 500,000 Arabs migrated to Palestine because of opportunities created by Jewish towns. This is a fact. This is documented. At least 500,000.
So
they came from Egypt, Syria, etc. You can tell by their names. They migrated there. They were Arabs. They didn't identify as Palestinians. This is a creation of the 60s.
So they were, yes, people immigrated there for job opportunities even before Zionism from the Ottoman Empire.
No. No.
Of course.
Oh, there were always migrants, but there was no major settlement. The Ottomans do not
The Ottomans did not do any major settlement in their territory. Their main agenda, honestly, was that they blocked Jews from buying land, but there's no major accomplishments that they did. They didn't build a university. I mean, so to say that they were always migrating there for job opportunities, to be so blasé, I'm talking about 500,000 in a 15-year period. And that didn't happen under the Ottomans.
No, it's not necessarily under the Ottomans, it's just people that migrated there. And you're right, there were no universities, but there were, religious schools, and there was infrastructure. It had a rich agriculture.
You're just blowing up his main point. It really feels like you're missing it. His main point is that there was tremendous migration under Jewish rule, and that's what we're talking about today. Not what the Ottomans, not the religious schools.
For the years that you gave me, migration made up a small part of the population growth, like 10 to 20%. And I read about this. I don't know where you're getting 500,000 from. The population of Palestine itself, in the year of like 1910, was like 650,000, I think.
Yeah, I'll repeat. I didn't say anything about 1910.
1910 is post-Zionism.
And in 1932 to 1947, 500,000 Arabs migrated there. I'll try and find a link for it, but we don't have to go back to 1910. Yeah, focus on the exact years that I took.
No, I was just throwing out a year to give you what the population was.
Right, I know, but that's not relevant to this point.
I guess you're not connecting the dots here. I'm saying that the migration, even in the time frame that you were giving me, migration made up a small part. Like that's certainly not a majority.
You quoted a population from 1910 and picked up 600,000, and I told you that a number that's 90% of that, or 95% of that, migrated in a 15-year period, and you're saying what? That I'm not connecting it?
Hold on, I gotta take.
Randy, how you doing?
Hey, dudes. People are so confident with their nonsense, you know.
Hello? Yeah, so we were talking about migration.
Hello?
Yeah, so you can hear me, right?
Hello?
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 Can you? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, is there anybody out there?
Hello?
Hello, it's me.
Is it you?
Hello. Right, Randy?
I thought about you for a long, long time.
Let me look up this thing, because I looked this up the other day, actually, in terms of the immigration into Palestine.
What are we trying to do, man? What exactly are you trying to do?
What's the whole thesis, Josh? What do you, where is this all going?
You know what? I'm not going to let Josh take this room into the angle he wants to go to. I want to talk about what's going on today.
No. Yeah, even he doesn't quite know the angle.
The thing I wanted to talk about, this is also Harry's room. I want to talk about what's going on today.
It's a dark day.
You guys always want to go back 85 years. Let's talk about today. Today's a very dark day. A terrorist attack happened in Jerusalem. Let's talk about that.
Sounds good. It's got to be immediately denounced by all leaders. There can be no tolerance. This is the tragedy of October 7th, is that the head of the UN, instead of immediately denouncing it, said, oh, it didn't happen, it didn't start yesterday. There has to be a clear consensus. The terror, I mean, imagine if the Pope stood up and said that terror is wrong. I don't know, I'm a dreamer, but I feel that if everybody denounced it, these people would be ostracized. Instead, they're tolerated.
No, I think you're onto something. I think the more and more people that realize and speak up about that this is wrong and what's going on, instead of shitbirds like fucking Josh to come here and say, well, I wonder why it happened. Being condescending, a little passive-aggressive bitch. Why did a terrorist attack happen today, Josh? Enlighten us.
It starts with the hate education in the UNRWA schools. The hate education is the assembly line for terror. And the whole world has looked away as UNRWA books teach kids in the West Bank, Judea, Samaria, in Gaza, that the Jews stole the land. This is in the UNRWA books. And until the world, this is why we have terror. And until they deal with this. And unfortunately, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the only way, I guess Israel has to censor the books. I don't know what else, what the other solution is. But this is the assembly line to terror. Thank you.
Part of the agenda. Macron published a tweet saying France strongly condemns the terrorist attack that has just occurred in East Jerusalem. It didn't happen in East Jerusalem. It happened in Northwest Jerusalem. And I think that by him calling it East Jerusalem, first of all, it happened in Jerusalem. But I think that just mentioning East Jerusalem is kind of like, I don't know if it's like just again ignorant or like political.
Transhumanism, Michael, is
just wrong.
The moving forward of human beings
like
in a technological future into which we incorporate the technology, into which we...
If it actually would have happened in East Jerusalem, it would have been a little bit easy to decipher these actual things.
It's a
technological I mean, if it's in Jerusalem, you know, maybe as this guy Josh says,
I could see that going with transhumanism. Simple fixes here right now, maybe, right? You couldn't even, as a woman, you couldn't become a man until technology.
I even said it was a terrorist attack.
No, the first thing that you said was like, why would they do it? Is there anything that is happening that will make them want to do something like this?
Yes.
In kind of like tone. So don't guess like, dude, this might work on you, but we can all see through you.
That's
this is why we...
That's not a justification.
My point. I don't think you know what the word
is. What? To call you out?
No, I'm just saying you can't be so... You can't lack the self-awareness of all these things happening.
No, I'm talking about your self-awareness. Your immediate reaction to hearing of such a barbaric terrorist attack is trying to find, first of all, to not participate in mourning, not to say that it's wrong, not to like get more details. No. First of all, is blame the victims by finding some, and this is something that I don't need to explain to you. Obviously, you're like, something is wrong with your morals, and I do know that we do not share the same point of view about values and morals. But this is something that you should look at yourself, that this is the first thing that you had to come after this horrific attack that 6 people or 7 lost their life, young people, and you need to say like, but why? Of course, because the women and the children are dying, so let's just like go and slaughter just random people with a machine, like with a gun in the middle of the road.
Daniel, can I get a word? To be, I'm not like proposing or anything, just more factual statement. To be clear, those people were not young as far as I were not young as like 20 or 30. They were in age, but like that doesn't matter. The thing is, for like Josh asking about like was this justified, was this not justified? The problem is that in
I never asked that.
Okay.
First of all, I didn't just hear about this from coming.
Why are you interrupting, Josh?
Healthcare in the UK is
No,
Josh, you interrupted me. The whole time yesterday in a Amir's room with this young man. Let this young man speak. I think you're a threat to this young man, Josh.
Actually, someone hijacked the conversation that I was having with him.
Josh, go on.
I just want to say, I didn't hear about this when I first came in the room. So when I first saw this on Twitter hours ago, because I was up all night, I thought it was terrible. And it was gruesome. I thought it was, and my first thought was, this is going to be, there's going to be consequences to the Palestinian people for this, obviously.
Yeah.
And civilians, Palestinians are going to get hurt because of this. Settler violence is going to go up. Like, from my point of view, this is what I thought. Same thing I thought from October.
No, settler violence is not necessarily going to go up. It's from what I understand, settler violence is not so much reactionary as much as it is proactive. So I don't think it's going to go up like critically. What I think
it's very much reactionary, by the way. Very much.
Pardon?
It's very much reactionary to terror attacks.
Yeah, of course. Settler violence.
Look at Koala, for example.
Settler violence skyrocketed after October 7th. Of course, it's reactionary.
Okay, then I'm wrong. Okay, yeah, but I don't think it's going to be a matter of necessarily settler violence. I think it's going to be something else. I think it's going to be more of a military approach to Ramallah and to Judea and Samaria, and political approach to the PA. I would say that. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, definitely there will be military repercussions to this.
Are you unsure?
Judea and Samaria.
Josh, your first reaction was, wow, this is going to be bad for the Palestinians, not how terrible for those poor people who got shot on their way to work. That was your first reaction?
No, you didn't listen to what I said. My first reaction was, this is gruesome, this is terrible. And then the afterthought I had was like, oh, this is only going to get worse for the Palestinians. So it happens. It happens in the sequence.
Maybe they should stop engaging in terror if they don't want to get something first.
Well, there's a lot of people that have nothing to do with the terror that are going to be affected. And this is my train of thought. It goes in a sequence.
Josh, the family of those people, of the people who did it, their house is going to be demolished, right? And anybody who had anything to do with it is going to be held accountable. And that's what should happen.
Why should the family members? Wouldn't you need to prove or have some sort of...
I'll tell you why.
Because they housed a terrorist.
I'll tell you why.
How do you know that the families know that they're terrorists?
I tell you why. First of all, the families get compensated by the PA, okay, for the child being in jail. So in order to kind of block this financial aid, there is another financial loss, which is the house. Second one is to make those people understand that if they do something, their families would pay the price if they live there. If not, you need to move out.
Why wouldn't
and
Israel...
third, one second. And one, maybe this is a bit half off topic, but there was this Palestinian terrorist that came on 7th of October and he's called his parents. Remember this? Mom, Dad, I killed 10 Jews with my own hands. I have the blood on the hands. Mom, and the parents are like so excited, like you can hear the mom at the bed, they're passing the phone, oh great, like my son, oh we're so proud, how beautiful, how beautiful. I killed 10 people with my own hand, 10 Jews, not people, 10 Jews. You need to understand that there is a problem here of indoctrination. You, living in the West, cannot project, and I get it, you project how society is in every place, and you think like, okay, everybody is the same. No, it's not the same. It's not the same, and you need to, in order to change it, people like you should acknowledge it, because otherwise you're not helping them, because this is not helping them kind of adding to their delusion. The fact is that they need help. They need to get rid of their leaders, be re-indoctrinated into back to society. That everything that they are teaching them is wrong, and try to have a civilized society.
I think more importantly, it's scary as fuck that this guy lives in Western civilization with this ideology. This is scary. I hope you never have kids, Josh. And then I want you to read my PTR, and I'll read it out loud. I think this goes to you. Is there something wrong with the war you ordered? Have you tried releasing the hostages and surrendering? Then that won't happen. You won't be able to say this is going to be horrible for them. This is crazy that you live in a Western country with this ideology. It's actually, you should be exposed. You should be reported.
Wait, hold on. Josh, can I ask? What is
that some kind of threat? I should be exposed and reported? What is that?
That's not a threat, no. It's a promise that I wish that that's what happens to you.
Josh, just so I understand, what is your ideology? What is your position?
I'm pro-Palestinian. I'm pro-Palestinian resistance. I think that
you're pro-Palestinian.
No, he's pro-Hamas, he said.
Wait, hold on. Just, you're pro-Palestinian in what sense?
Forced the residents of Gaza City to evacuate.
I believe that they deserve a state.
Farewell to their homes.
I believe that they should have individual rights.
Do Jews deserve a state and individual rights?
No, hold on. You believe that Palestinians deserve a state?
Yes.
They have Jordan.
No, why? You get all the water from property? What about all the Palestinians that were there before Zionism was even a thing?
Okay, what about the Jews, the Israeli Jews who moved out of Arab countries? Do they deserve? Can they go back as well?
That was a terrible thing that happened. They should be able to go back, and there should be oversight, like international oversight, peacekeepers for these types of things, or I don't know if.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Wait, hold on.
Dan, who will protect them when they go back to Iraq? When they go back to Syria? Who will protect them? Why would they go back?
Listen, I'm not gonna play the devil's advocate. I'm just trying to understand Josh's position. I'm trying to have a discussion with him.
Josh's position is he supports terrorism.
Okay, hold on. Josh, you know how many Palestinian Arabs were expelled during, left Mandy's Palestine during 9/11?
750,000 roughly.
Yes, something like that. Their essentially refugee crisis has increased to it's in the millions, I'm sure that it's in the millions.
Your doctors are
Do you think all of them should be able to go back to to West Bank, Gaza, and Israel properly?
We already agreed to your.
You asking me realistically or ideologically?
You can answer whichever way you want. I'll probably.
Yeah, but
you can answer whichever way.
Dan, 1 second, just before you answer, Josh. It's important to note and to state that there is no other population in the world that has a refugee status that passes from generation to generation. Only the Palestinians. It is abhorrent, and it's very important to point that out. That there's no other status that has been given to any other population in the world where refugee status passes from generation to generation.
Well,
hold on. Just so I can answer Aleph. Legally speaking, formally, yes, that is true. However, if you speak informally, technically, Jews could be considered a permanent refugee where
that's not the point then. That's not the point. The point is, go and look at the UN charters.
He's pointing out your double standard, because the Jews got that.
He's not pointing out a double standard.
The policy of Israel is not established. Many countries have immigration policies for their own ancestors.
Generational refugee status. That's what I'm trying to say. The Palestinians.
No, I'm sorry, Josh. I'm not pointing out the double standard. I'm just saying that if what I'm saying is that if law, if international law was properly applied to Jewish people, then they would be considered permanent refugees where we would be able to go back to land of Israel. However, it is not. Therefore, legally speaking, Aleph is correct. Okay, Josh, answer the question about the return of the 4 million refugees. Like pragmatically or ideologically, I don't really care.
So ideologically, that seems a solution for Jews and Palestinians can live side by side. That's not my realistic. And I think it would be fair to say to like change that refugee status. So like if you're Palestinian but you can't trace back to where your family lived before they were, sent off to be refugees in reverse exodus, then you probably shouldn't go back. But also, I think you guys have to get rid of Aliyah because I don't see how this.
From the diaspora.
Because hold on, the point, the thing with Aliyah is that first of all, Israel is in law declared a Jewish state. Therefore, it is kind of a thing. And second, there is such thing as return of refugees to an existing country, but not a return of non-existent people. And I'll explain in a second to a non-existent country. What I'm trying to say is that under Roman occupation, there was a province in the area which was kind of autonomous, and Jews were kicked out of that area. And then only when the state of Israel was reestablished did Aliyah begin formally again. Palestinian Arabs, they were kicked out of not an Arab country, at least not de jure, and hence they will not be able to exactly return in that pragmatic sense, so to speak. But in terms of the one-state solution, just out of curiosity, do you think Palestinian Arabs from Gaza, Judea, Samaria, and Israelis, especially those from right wing and center, essentially those who do not see one-state solution as the future, do you think those two will get along or not?
So realistically speaking, I think the best thing to do would probably be like a two-state solution type thing. And if they can keep peace for like 2 decades and get a good grade in keeping peace, they can eventually, with the new generations that come, and as these extremists on both sides get, they got off.
Yeah.
I think that a one-state solution would be possible. And just for the record, as you mentioned the existence of a Jewish state, I don't believe in a Jewish state. I don't think that a state could exist without.
What do you mean?
Jews, it should be a state.
There are many ethnic states like Japan.
Hold on. I want to hear what Josh. Go on. Sorry, Daniel, I'm interrupting you. I'm so sorry. Josh, go on.
Yeah, I just don't like. 2 things I want to say in response to Daniel as well. The reason I don't believe that there should be a Jewish state is because that implies the idea that Jews that Jews have superiority. Yeah.
Because
it have to be a Jewish state. Why can't it just be a state with Jews there?
Because it has to be. Okay. Do you know what de facto means?
Like a de facto government,
de facto means on the ground. De jure means in law or in words. So in law, so de facto and de jure, Israel is a Jewish state because it has the majority population Jewish, and because it is listed so in the law. Arab states are de facto. What?
Now, I think that's a problem for both families.
Now, Josh, you have similar concerns with the existence of the Spanish state, the American state, the English state, the German state, the French state, and the Russian state, I take it?
And this is what I wanted to respond to January. It's like, if I wanted to go back to Spain. Hold on. Were you calling me? Okay. So, yeah, so if I wanted to go back to Spain, the Canary Islands, where my grandfather's father was from.
Right, like before it was incorporated as Spain, back when it was Andalusia, under the control of the Muslims.
No, I'm not an Arab. I'm a Cuban.
That's fine. I'm saying if we were to wind back the clock and undo the merger of Spain from the multiple kingdoms that pushed out the Muslim kingdom.
So, just, we don't even have to go back that far, even if but the thing is, I can show.
I'm asking because you said you didn't want there to be a Jewish state, and I'm asking why are you okay with the Spanish state?
Well, I think it's probably a better example, because the way that I see this, like this Jewish state thing, it's like if my wife was Tunisian, if Tunisia was like, we want to take back our Carthaginian empire, we're going to expand all the way down to Tripoli, and we're going to take Sicily.
There's a problem.
Right,
There's a problem.
No, let them make their claim. Go on. What
Okay,
happens?
sorry. Go on.
They're taking over Carthage. Go on.
Yeah, like old Carthage. I just don't think that would be okay. There's like a century.
Why not?
Can I say what?
Because over 2,000 years, so many people have integrated into other cultures and crossbreeding, all this stuff.
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? So many other people? You mean there are no Carthaginians anymore?
Well, technically, no. Just like there's no more Canaanites.
Right. Okay, I agree with you. Hey, listen, I agree with you. It would be crazy if Algeria or Tripoli tried to reform the Carthaginian Empire. Slow down. Because, like you said, there are no Carthaginians. My question to you is, are you saying that there are no Jews?
It's not the same as it was before, because a lot of those Jews. And by the way, there is Amazigh culture where they the Tunisian.
Of course, there's Amazigh culture. I'm familiar with the cultures of the world. Why do you believe that the Jewish nation should not have a state, in contrast to the French kingdom and formation of French states, the German federation of German kingdoms and principalities, the English merger of multiple kingdoms and invasions from eras, or the American study of constitutional liberty? Why should any states exist?
But you're bringing up countries that are not comparable to Israel.
No, because you said that this particular state shouldn't exist, and I'm curious why.
Well, the only thing that you have that ties you back to Israel, which was an ancient kingdom,
would be our constitution?
And I don't think, no. Your religion.
Would that be under an unchanging, legally binding document? That sounds like a constitution from like a legal perspective.
The religion?
Hold on.
If it's in a document, it's a constitution.
But
I'm not familiar with it. Yeah.
When we, for example, like in World War II, when we're talking about the Holocaust, the Jews that were there, do you think it was about religion or about, like, for example, I'm not a religious guy, okay, at all. I'm considered by all Jew haters as a Jew.
That's right. He'd be the first one to go to kill.
So, that's funny. So where are your grandparents from? I know you told me that your grandmother was actually in Palestine before it came Israel, right?
Wait, what does it matter where his grandparents are from?
Yeah, but the thing
right,
is,
won't he be Jewish anyway? Isn't that like kind of the inherent problem?
I mean, if you say
the reason that Israel exists as this refuge for Jews is not about religion. It's because Jew hatred is not about religion. Okay, it's about
you have a culture that's tied to your but if you want to break down, so if you're talking about ethnicity, that's your culture, right? But if we look at your genetics, you probably have a lot of ancestors.
Why do you want to look at his genetics though?
Wait, hold on. Can I say something?
You know what? I suggest let's do this, okay? That all of the Palestinians and all the Jews will do a genetic test.
I agree.
And each one will go to where they originated from. How do you say about that? What do you say about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I say something quickly? First of all, for genetics, it's not going to be playing in your favor that much, because most of the Jews, especially Haredim, they're going to be able to trace their origins back to Eretz Israel very easily because they don't marry out of the Yiddish, out of the religion. Secondly, most Palestinians, they're going to find out unfortunate truth that they will trace their origins. Origins, I mean like 200 years ago, something like that, back to Syria, Egypt, Saudi, Lebanon, Jordan, all of those places. To the other point that Joshi was speaking about, the fact that
can you give me, I'm at work. Can you guys give me like 4 minutes? Hold your thought where you are.
No,
yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I still have it. Why? Arctic leather.
Daniel.
Now I can tell you what the top 100 hits of 1968 are.
Where'd you live? In
Right,
Israel?
see? Now you're glad I
I'm
said
born and raised in Tel Aviv, but now I'm living in Berlin for the last 3.5 years, almost 4.
What are you doing in Berlin?
Daniel Berliner.
Absolutely.
I know,
Just the fact
right?
that she's in this
I moved here because I'm married to German. And after like living in Israel,
Number 3, people got to
Go
be
ahead.
free. The rest.
Goya, the Goya.
That's also a giant right. Yeah,
Right now, go ahead.
Can you invite Ahmed up to speak with us? Because he said free Palestine, and I just want to hear what he has to say.
No, see, I say it's better. Daniel, at least you didn't marry a Goya, right? I say it's better.
Exactly. My mother.
Daniel, ask you a question.
The casualties are aged from 25 until 80.
I love it that you're like a human jukebox. I could say any song, and you could just start playing it. I don't know why I want to. Just to the fact that you can do this, you can so quickly translate from your ears to your fingers.
Is it because
That's
you want to do
how
it
no, it's amazing.
to you for a long time?
MacArthur Park.
It's a fetish.
He's a friend of mine. Isn't
But
that
like
great
we,
song?
like, you know,
It's
I
a great
don't
song.
fetish.
You don't know who the top is.
Oh, someone left the cake out.
We're doing
Well,
like different
I've been
work,
listening
right?
to it forever. You're right.
No, we actually spoke about it. It's
and
like if
never
there
really
are people that this is like their
comics made
fetish.
jokes about that.
Like,
You know, it's just a
I
cake.
think there's something to it.
Like Nazism.
Definitely part of it. I mean, like, a lot of them were raised by Nazi facilitating grandparents.
Hold on. Okay, Josh, go on, yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt your romantic.
No, you were taking like a commercial break.
No, okay, hold on.
Yeah, because it was 4 minutes, so we come out with.
So every DNA test, and you know, I'm willing to put this to the test. Every time a Palestinian, I always ask Palestinian, every DNA test, I get about half of them do.
I wouldn't even say it's a B
I've seen nowhere less of 75%
purity.
Levantine includes Lebanon.
You know where Levantine
yeah,
is?
that's what I was gonna say. Levant is a very it's more than just Israel. It's gonna be south of Syria. It's gonna be south of Lebanon. It's gonna be Jordan.
Yeah, sure,
it's gonna
but
be Sinai.
Obviously, these people don't call themselves Palestinians for no reason. They had family that has lived there. So
no, they call themselves Palestinians because they try to fake a nationality.
Anti-Zionist.
I wanted, Josh, the other point, you were talking about Tunisians basically taking taking back something of other nations or something.
Yeah, Tripoli, Sicily.
Yeah. Do you know why that is not a good analogy?
Are you gonna say because the Carthaginians are extinct? But they technically are.
No. That's not what I'm gonna say. What I'm gonna say is that because essentially there was never an independent state, province, or anything like that in Palestine. Even under caliphate, there was no separate state or province. The maximum that was there was Arab Jerusalem, and later on it was the building of Ramallah. But that was about it. So when early Zionists came in, they did not take over, and they did not take over an existing country. That was not the case, and there was nothing. They were just taking over a bunch of land from Ottoman Empire, and that's it.
Yeah, but they're okay. So when there's
Hey
on the
John,
caliphate
how are
bridge,
you? First, I just want to answer your question. You asked me what's my ideal
they
first
only
date.
kicked out like all the Byzantine leaders. They left the local farmers alone. So it's not like this land was completely cleansed and there was no one there and it was just Arabs from the Arabian Peninsula.
Oh,
Like,
good. They got rid of all
they
the
were
police. I'm sure the property value skyrocketed.
Oh, it did. It did. The first caliphate set the first social welfare system. Because
That doesn't sound like the property values are doing well.
I don't know what this is pertaining to, but I mean, it was a holy site for Muslims for a long time.
What the?
So, obviously, they're not.
Yeah,
holy sites don't need upkeep.
No, Jerusalem was never holy to Arabs.
Of course it was.
No, hold on. Jerusalem was never holy to Arabs in any sense of way. They actually tried to, originally Muslims and Arabs, they tried to essentially make a split from Judaism and Christianity, and so they declared Mecca and then Mecca and Medina as like the important sites, and then only later when they conquered Jerusalem and they realized like the power that they could do essentially by adjoining to the Abrahamic, to Judaism, Christianity not so much of a fan, but anyway,
there's ancient
yeah.
cemeteries there, from some of the first leaders of the caliphate.
Islam has no connection to Jerusalem at all.
Hold on. I want to know, Josh, do you support the IRGC?
As like an ideal government for Iran, or as far as their resistance?
Do you support the IRGC? Do you support the
strategically?
Did you say as far as their resistance? Whose resistance in Iran?
I strategically support the IRGC.
Why do you support the IRGC, Josh?
Just so you know, we're going off to a way different topic.
No, this is part of the topic. Why do you support the IRGC?
Because they're fighting Israel and they're bombing Israel's airports.
So he supports anything that has to do with the destruction of Israel. Let that be noted. And this is why you should be reported.
What airport did they bomb? I'm trying to understand which airport.
Military.
Military. I don't know which airport.
The Yemen it's not a military airport. It's
Iran. The Negev.
Wait, Josh, if I understand you correctly, you support
they arrested an American journalist because he reported on it. Yeah, they did.
Okay, so what's the proof?
You support all military actions taken against the state of Israel, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
Okay, Josh, can I ask you, hold on, Josh, can I ask you this question? You talked about one-state solution, how Arabs and Jews would live together, or like a two-state solution where Arabs and Jews would live together, and yet you condone Arabs, not even Persians, Arabs, Muslims attacking a Jewish state from like 2,000 miles or something. I don't know the distance of somebody. And yet you still think that two-state solution or even one-state solution is feasible. How exactly do you hold those?
We have to get there.
Civilians, by the way, targeting civilians.
Okay, hold on. Just go on.
IRGC targeted mostly.
Mostly. I can show you one picture of a friend's house that I was physically there with my feet on the ground. I can show you pictures. Second of all, the Weizmann Institution for Cancer is not a military place. It's where we bring innovation to the world in terms of cancer research.
All the people that got killed from those rockets were all civilians, by the way.
Yeah, we know who died. We see the video for it.
Yeah, of course, accidents happen. They're shooting ballistic
A whole block of apartment buildings is not military targets, by the way.
John, can you answer the question that I had, please?
If you didn't have CIA in your headquarters embedded in
CIA headquarters.
Mossad headquarters.
Oh my God, this guy's retarded.
They didn't really want Mossad headquarters is.
Yeah, where did they just put Mossad on the top of the building and say this is where the Mossad building is?
No, but you hit them.
How would Iran know where the Mossad? How would Iran know where the Mossad buildings are at? But the people who live in Israel don't even know where the Mossad buildings are.
Well, the IRGC knew.
How? How would the IRGC know?
Wait, hold on, Jeff.
There's a very recent
How would the IRGC know?
Oh, wait, I know, hurry.
They have intelligence? How?
Hurry. No, I know how IRGC knows.
No, hold on, Dan. Hold on. It's okay. Take a breath. It's okay. Hold on. How would they know? How would they know? What intelligence do they have?
Surveillance. I don't know.
Surveillance? What kind of surveillance do they have?
Drones. Hezbollah
Drones? Do you think they're flying drones over Israeli airspace?
Well, Hezbollah was.
Hezbollah was?
Hezbollah
was
the IRGC,
Hezbollah posted videos. Hezbollah posted videos.
That was in the north.
Yeah, but that's just so you.
That's not where the IRGC rockets were hitting.
Well, IRGC hit the Haifa gas port.
Okay, and that's a military. Installation.
Of course. Where do you think that?
Oh yeah, of course.
From? Yeah.
Actually, you guys are retarded, bro.
You hit the economy. And it did a lot of damage.
It's good. Hurry.
Just so you know, the Israeli stock market yesterday crossed like all-time high.
Yeah, it's all fake.
And it's been going up for the last 2 years.
Hold on.
It's all manipulated. It's fake.
It's 2 years. It's not. You cannot fake it. It's actually trust of investors.
To be very clear, oil refining.
Dan.
Sorry.
Just let me add something here as well. First of all, Daniel is 100% correct. The Israeli economy is not crashed or tanked at all. In fact, the opposite. The Israeli economy is actually on a rebound that hasn't been seen for years. The amount of business that Israel is doing, in fact, it's really, really funny because a lot of the business that Israel is doing actually just now are with countries that are saying they want to ban Israel and they want to, sanction Israel. But meantime, they're buying arms from Israel at a rate that has never been seen in the country. Billions and billions and billions of dollars worth of business has been done since the start of this war, incredibly. And this is factual as well. The stock exchanges that Daniel has just said is at an all-time high. The shekel has reached it. In fact, the shekel reached an all-time high against all major currencies. The day 2 of the war against Iran, day 2, missiles are being fired at Israel and the shekel is skyrocketing. Why? Because Israel is actually a good place to invest money. NVIDIA has invested an absolute fortune in Israel. They're building a plant to build chips in Israel, creating, thousands and thousands of jobs in the country. Other investments coming into the country as well. Israeli high tech is firing in all cylinders as well. Recently, a company was sold for I don't know how many billions. So to say that the economy has crashed and tanked is nonsense. And
I never said the economy. I said hitting the gas
that missile that landed that you talked about in Haifa on the gas facilities or whatever, it hit a small pipe. It caused them.
You cut out there.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Iran and the IRGC that you support is this. Israel hit IRGC military targets all around Iran, including nuclear facilities that were being developed to create a nuclear bomb that threatened Israel's existence. Iran fired blind missiles into civilian areas in Tel Aviv and other areas as well. So you support
Can I quickly say something?
You support.
Hold on, Dan. Let him finish.
Josh, you support terror. You support the IRGC, which is a terror organization that threatens not only Israel, but threatens the Western world. And actually, one question that I've got for you, Josh, why your obsession with the state of Israel and Jews?
He's Cuban. He's not even Muslim. Even from the Middle East.
I am a Muslim.
No, you're not.
He's married to a Tunisian woman. He reverted to Islam a few years ago. And I tried to tell Josh a few nights ago that you're so out of your element, you don't know what you're talking about. He said he went to North Africa to study Arab culture. And I was like, dude, you're a Cuban American. That's it. You don't know you don't know.
Aleph.
Tunisia's not the Middle East, Josh, by the way.
I know, but they have their Arabic culture.
Yeah, because they came and conquered the land.
I wanted a little bit of both. I wanted a little bit of Arab culture. I wanted to go to ancient Carthage. I wanted something on the
And
Mediterranean.
that's not Arab culture in Tunisia, by the way. That's North African.
They have a lot of Arab culture.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't. It's not Arab at all.
What do they speak?
Would not tell an
They speak a language that they got conquered by called Arabic. Yeah.
Yeah, and what are the things they do?
It's not the original language in Tunisia.
What's on every street corner?
It's not the original language or the religion in Tunisia.
Harry's right. They're Arabites, moron.
All of North Africa is.
Josh, all of Israel is covered in Arabic writing as well, and half the country speaks Arabic. I mean, half the stage people on here speak Arabic. Are they all Arabs as well?
Just about 2 million of them.
Wait a second.
If you go to the West Bank and
okay,
Gaza,
Josh, my grandparents spoke
you might get more Arabic.
My grandparents spoke Arabic. Are they Arab?
It's not contingent on what they speak. Of course, Jews and other.
That's what you just said. You said what language do they speak?
What language do they speak?
That was one of the examples. I went off to list like 5 of them.
And then you just pointed out that that's not a good example. So why would you?
And to be fair to your point, I didn't until I traveled to Tunisia. I didn't realize how much of their own culture they had.
Yeah, because you're an idiot. That's why.
No, because all I knew about that place is that it was on the Mediterranean. They make really good couscous, and it's ancient Carthage. Before going
Do you know how many Tunisian Jews speak Arabic? You know how many of them speak Arabic? Does that make them Arab?
They still live on.
They're Arabized.
Oh, they're Arabized. Okay, and Tunisia is not.
True. That all the Jews are on the island of Turbo.
Josh, can I ask a question? I'm gonna ask you
there's Jewish culture in Tunisia as well. They have some of the old.
As a Middle Eastern Jew, I'm gonna let you know now. It's very offensive when you call Jews from the Middle East Arabs, and I'm assuming it's probably the same for Armenians, for Amazigh people.
They're Arabized. I mean, Mizrahi Jews are Arabized.
Gosh.
Josh, let me ask you this, and it's gonna be very provocative. I want you to answer honestly, all right?
All right, back to Daniel.
You talked about two-state solution, providing guarantees for Israel or Israel and Palestine. Now, this is going to be a very provocative question, so I don't want anybody to answer it except Josh. When he answers it, I just want to have 1 second. What do you think caused October the 7th? In your opinion?
So, going by what Hamas has said themselves, I think one of the main catalysts will be the Abraham Accords.
Say again?
The Abraham Accords is one of the main things, I think.
Abraham Accords. So when Israel started making peace with Arab countries, that forced Palestinians to basically attack it. So when there's
hold on, that's a really nice way of putting it.
Is that not what you just said?
GCC countries signed a deal with Israel without including a Palestinian state in those negotiations. They turned their backs. They turned their backs on the people of Palestine. Yes.
Okay, two questions. Israel has no interest in a Palestinian state. I think, given the Bibi government, we can pretty much acknowledge that. I don't know how controversial it is, at least not for me. Why would Palestinians blame Israelis? Why would they blame? They can blame Arabs. They can attack Egypt, which is to the south of them. They can attack any other country, which, they can pretty much attack any other Arab country to express their anger at them for not including them in the accords. So why don't they do that instead? Why didn't they do that instead?
Why wouldn't they go for the head of the snake? That's ridiculous. Also,
what do you mean?
They're already in like Israel Palestine, so why wouldn't they attack the people that have been occupying them and killing them for all these years? I'm sure if they could, they would probably take out a few Egyptian politicians as well.
They did. I think you remember Sadat. I think you do.
Yeah, they've done this in Kuwait. They've done it in Jordan. Of course they get angry and lash out at other people who normalize relations with Israel. But they did October 7th because, for obvious reasons.
Is it obvious?
Wait, hold on. Just one more question.
What is obvious? But I just don't understand. Is it so obvious that you need to rape and kill people? What's obvious?
Who was raped?
Who was raped?
Yeah, can you give me a name?
You're a rape denialist too.
Can you give me a
Josh,
name?
okay, different
You
question.
can't go by name. Hold on, you can't go.
Josh, I need to. Dan, shut up for a second.
Any forensic evidence?
Yeah, Josh, actually, I'm gonna get you to talk to a friend of mine. She's a psychologist. She's been working with the survivors of October 7th, and maybe she can relay some stories of what happened. If you're on here later tonight, I'm gonna bring her on especially to come talk to you. She's been working on the ground since October 7th, in and out of Israel, working with survivors, both men, women, and children. Unfortunately, a lot of people have committed suicide as well since October 7th. You, since you're a rape denialist.
No, I'm not. I believe women. I just need a woman to believe.
What I'm gonna do for you, Josh,
I have plenty of names for you, bro.
She's a physician. She's a doctor. She's very credible. I'll give you her name, and I'm gonna let her know that there's another young man who is denying the rape of people on October 7th. That's women, men, and children who were raped. And I'm gonna ask her to come on here and spend 20 minutes. You can look up her physician, her number. You can look up the union, you can look her up, and you can talk to her one-on-one, and she'll tell you the stories about the survivors and people who have been raped. She can tell you about the little girl whose bowels were eviscerated because she was raped so hard that her bowels actually came out of her vagina, and how they had to patch it back in. She was about 4 or 5 years old. This happened to a little girl. So next time you ask about what rape, I'm gonna message her right now for you. Actually, hold up.
Shawnee Luke was one of them actually, and through forensic they found out that her body was she was gang raped.
Yep.
So that's one name, and I have plenty others if you want.
There was a 14-year.
There's no what? Wait, hold on. There's no what?
That never happened with Shawnee Luke.
That did. Josh, there was a 14-year-old.
There's autopsy evidence to show it. What are you fucking talking about?
There was a 14-year-old girl with 17
fucking
semen samples on her body.
That was also a lie. That was also a lie. You guys are just bringing up rape atrocity stories that never happened.
You need it to be a lie.
I know exactly.
Yeah, Josh.
Yes.
Just let me say something, please. You're digging yourself a huge hole here that you're not going to be able to get out of. You sound like a spokesperson for Hamas. You sound like the dirty, filthy terrorists that committed these crimes and actually filmed themselves with their own GoPro cameras, filming those rapes and those disgusting.
There's no rape that was filmed.
Sam and I watched
it. You want to hang on, Josh. I unfortunately had the unpleasant experience of watching a 47-minute movie that was compiled and put together by all the used by these Hamas Nukhba terrorists that came over on October 7th. You are talking through a hole in your ass. You do not know what went on. You did not see it. And actually, you know what? You believe in the United Nations. They actually produced a report on this as well. There is very credible evidence. I'm sorry. You're again. You are just digging yourself a hole here. You are denying that October 7th. You're probably denying that October 7th happened. You will probably say next that you will probably hang on, Dan. Don't interrupt me. You will probably also say as well that Israel used the Hannibal directive and killed their own people. There you go. This is the next thing. You sound retarded. Sound retarded. No, it's not confirmed by anyone.
Yeah, there's 13 confirmed by Israel themselves.
It's confirmed.
There's video of a tank shooting into a kibbutz.
It's confirmed by your. It's confirmed by your delusional belief of a terror organization that you think were justified in carrying out attacks on October 7th. I am not going to discuss anything further with you because you're a disgusting human being who is nothing but a terror.
Can you,
by the way, Tunisian women are the ugliest women in North Africa. Everybody knows that. That's why she married you, and you didn't marry an American girl. Sorry, but that's
everyone knows my wife is Italian.
She's hairy. I can guarantee you she looks like a farmer and she's hairy.
My Instagram is in my bio. You can have it.
No, I can tell
you. The report they released.
The reason why, Dan, shut up 1 second, please, my brother. there's a reason why that Tunisian women are clitoris, and your women don't even have clitoris in North Africa.
I missed you, man. Where have you been?
So, like, don't
you
come
stupid
here and tell me,
fuck.
Don't tell me.
I love you.
You come here and you be like, yeah, like you're North African women are like.
I know you. You're my friend. We're friends. We were.
That's the reason. No, we're not friends, Josh.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
And the reason. No, don't force me to be your friend like you have masters, right?
We're friends.
And everything else. Like, I hope they flatten the fuck out of like what you said your wife is from what, Tunisia? Tunis?
That's right.
It's another terrorist state. No wonder why. Like you're such a jihadist
The flotilla actually stopped in Tunisia yesterday. They picked up 20 more ships.
Is that the AI flotilla?
No, not the AI stop. No.
Because they forgot to crop out the AI stamp on half of the images, so we don't know what's real and what's not.
Well, you should look in. You should do your due diligence and do some basic research. Just
some like autistic 20-year-old is doing for attention to up her career.
Oh, Greta Thunberg is leading all 55 ships. I didn't know that she was the mastermind.
I don't know.
I thought it was. I was under the impression it was grassroots.
Go on a summer vacation and cruise around on a yacht all summer.
Grassroots? Come on, man.
Other things to do.
Hey Josh, can we go back to October 7th? You were mentioning how you think they did it because they wanted to disrupt like the Abraham Accords and didn't want potentially other Arab countries to recognize Israel, right?
No, it's not about disrupting the Abraham Accords. Well, maybe in the long run, but I think you're playing.
No, hold on. I'm not gonna let you get away with that. You just said that the point of October 7th attack on the Palestinian side was the disruption of Abraham Accords. You didn't even mention Saudi, which is the official lenient claim. You know, the official non-violent claim that is made is that Saudis were making peace with Israel, which then led Hamas to actually make the actual plot, execute the actual plot. There was nothing about the Abraham Accords. So like, what do you think is the actual reason? Because I don't think you think it's Abraham Accords. What is the actual reason?
You're like twisting what I said. You asked me
what did you say?
You asked me why do I think October 7th happened, right?
Yes.
And I said based on what Hamas leaders have said, one of the main reasons was because of the Abraham Accords.
God,
meaning
you're such a fucking idiot.
Allow me to ask what I intended on asking.
Okay.
Josh, with that logic, okay, this is what you just stated. Are you aware of what actually happened, some years ago when the UAE recognized Israel and they engaged in diplomatic talks and signed the accords? One prerequisite was that Israel shouldn't annex parts of the West Bank, right? So when you say that they should disrupt the Abraham Accords, you also indirectly fail to realize that the Abraham Accords are what's keeping the Palestinian dream alive, the Palestinian state. You need to understand that
the West Bank and the tradition that it is now is not sufficient for.
Josh, let me finish. The two-state solution died a long time ago. You had the Oslo Accords. Within 5 years, they should have reached an agreement. They didn't reach it. They proposed a state. They rejected it. It's quite obvious they don't want a two-state solution, right? So instead of Israel trying to give the Palestinians something, realizing they don't have a...
Have you read the Oslo Accords?
Can I finish? Yes, I actually have. Here's the thing. Realizing they don't have a partner in peace, whatever they offered to the Palestinians, they were rejected. They shifted focus to the other Arab countries, saying, if we focus on the region, focus on all the good things, all the neighboring countries, them recognizing us, potentially, will make the Palestinians realize that their cause is not going to lead to anything. It will lead to more suffering, more misery. So when you say that Hamas attacked Israel October 7th, whatever happened, okay? But you're saying your theory is they want to disrupt the Abraham Accords. So I'm going to ask you, do you think that's going to help them in the long term or not?
I never said that they wanted to disrupt Abraham. They just did it out of all these GCC countries turned their backs on us. It's up to ourselves now.
Literally the reason why the West Bank is not...
How many of the Palestinian prisoners that have basically been taken hostage without...
You're not addressing my...
Josh, is your last name?
Well, you're working from the wrong. You're setting the.
Barlow?
My last name?
Is it Barlow?
No, it's Sirota. I put my full name and Instagram on my account.
No, I don't believe
And BB, Sirota is the Jewish last name, by the way.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Look it up.
It's not.
Yes, it is. Look it up. Google it right now.
So
Everyone
you're putting your full name and you're supporting terrorism and you live in America? Interesting.
That's
a
right.
federal offense, by the way.
That's right.
So you support terrorism and you live in America?
I support resistance.
You're getting up.
That's terrorism.
No, you said you support Hamas.
Terrorism is subjective.
No, you said.
No, it's not subjective.
No, the
Yeah,
U.S. sees Hamas as a terrorist organization.
Boy,
I know, Josh. I would just be careful. FBI might be knocking on your door very
Well,
soon.
Yeah, Josh.
60% of us are
Easy question here.
support
Do you
Palestine over
support-
Israel. So.
Josh, do you support Hamas?
Yes.
So you
Do you
support a
support the
terrorist?
IRGC? Hang on, do you support the IRGC?
Strategically, yes.
Do you support the
Do you
Nazis?
support Hezbollah?
Strategically,
Do
what
you
is
support
that?
Do you support, guys, one sec. Do you support Hezbollah?
Strategically, yes.
What is strategically?
Thank you.
Hold on, I'll
Providing
give you
everything that. No, this is fantastic. I'll tell
At
you
least
why.
200 years in
Because
jail.
he is actually, first of all, the guy lives in New York, and he is breaking the law. He's breaking state law. He's breaking federal law right now as well. Thank you for providing me this, Josh. I just recorded, and I will be passing this on first of all to an organization
You're welcome.
I'm passing
You're
this on
welcome.
to
I
an
live in
organization
Ohio.
called SCN.
I wish I
It'll
lived
be
in New
passed.
York, but I live in
Okay,
Ohio.
great. It's going to be passed. It's going to.
I think you broke out.
You still broken the law. It's technically they support Hamas. You support a terror organization, and you will reap the consequences.
Okay.
Josh, can I ask a question? Hold on.
What does strategic support mean?
Yeah, exactly, Jakob. That's a good question. Exactly.
What was the question?
Well,
You said I strategically support them. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
That, like, fundamentally, do I support what the IRGC is doing in their own country? No. Do I support them strategically as a means to liberate Palestine and their objective pertaining to?
Okay, can I ask this? Can I ask this? And can I ask this? What do you mean by liberating Palestine? And which
By
part?
lifting the occupation, stopping them from killing children, which they were doing before October 7th. Do you know what article was released on October 6th, by the way, by many news outlets?
Yeah, go.
2023 was the deadliest year for Palestinian children in the West Bank.
Maybe this would
Okay,
make
okay,
you
well,
ask about
well,
the way that Palestinian society is using children. Instead of like waking up and gaslighting them and kind of keeping them in this situation, maybe you need to understand it. Maybe you should read about it, because even your precious UN wrote reports about child soldiers in the Palestinian community. You should listen to the mothers of the Palestinian societies and what they're saying. And you know what? And read Hamas's charter of the woman's role in basically creating soldiers.
Josh, let me ask you this. Let me ask you. It's one quick question.
I just want to ask him something related to this.
Okay.
You've been asking a lot of questions, and let Samson talk.
Yeah. So I was actually in Israel in 2023. Okay, I was also in what you call the West Bank. Do you know why it was the deadliest year for the Palestinians?
Wow.
Are you real on why?
Are you gonna tell me because there are some kids that tried to stab soldiers and the soldiers couldn't manhandle the little kids, so they have to shoot them?
No.
Why?
So 2023, the months leading up to October 7th, were quite deadly. You know, many terrorist attacks, both within Israel, also in the West Bank. Because I know a guy that was shot in his own car. I was in Tel Aviv when there was a terrorist who shot 3 Israelis. I canceled my trip to Gabon because of this. This was like the months leading up to October 7th, okay? The reason why it was deadly year for the Palestinians is because the Palestinians were committing a lot of terrorist acts, okay? It didn't just come out of the blue.
Oh, so how did the kids end up that way?
Kids are people below the age of 18.
Because they take a knife, and then when they stab somebody in the back, Josh,
That's what happens. You get shot and killed. It's not that hard to understand.
So
You know that
first of all,
between
not all the kids.
Hold on, just so you know, between 2000 and 2003, there were 30 suicide bombers committed by children.
No, there wasn't.
Again, no, there wasn't.
I looked up these statistics recently. There've been like 4 suicide bombings since the second Intifada.
Dude,
no, that's
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, that is the second Intifada.
What?
Anyone under the age of 18 is considered a child. Do you understand this? It's not like 5 years.
What years did you say?
I thought that
2000, 2003.
Yeah, that's literally second
yeah.
Intifada.
I thought you said 2022 to 2024. Yeah, that was the second Intifada. Yeah. But that was a long time ago, and they've turned away from that actually.
No, I'm talking about the children part. I'm talking about the use of children. By your definition of anyone under the age of 18.
I was talking about the year 2023 leading up
yes,
to October.
But you need to understand the society that is using children. And the definition of a child, just for your information, is anyone under 18.
That's a different topic. Like,
it's important because you use the word. You cannot imagine you ask why are children dying.
You went back 20 years from the article that I brought.
No, I'm talking about right now. Right now, when you say a child, you mean anyone under the age of 18.
Right now, there haven't been in the year 2023, unless if there was like one. There haven't been any suicide bombers.
I'm very sorry. I need to interrupt very quickly.
The point was not about the suicide bombers.
My headphones are gonna.
The point was about the children. Dude.
My headphones are gonna die, so I think let Dan ask his last question.
He's gonna run away. He's running away.
I'll come back. I just need to put my AirPods back into charge.
Daniel, you're doing a good thing, but you're not asking the right question. Josh, you said that the reason for October 7th attack was the negotiations between Arab countries and Israel.
One of the reasons.
So what is the point of them citing that there was so many? What was the point of citing that there were so many children casualties?
The main objective. I mean, all these things are catalysts for October 7th. But Hamas's main objective was to, similar to like in 2011. Remember, they took like one soldier and they were able to trade him for like over 1,000 Palestinians, including Yahya Sinwar. I think that was their objective this time, was to take hostages, do a deal, which they offered on October 9th. They're like, you can have all the civilians, we'll keep all the military. You guys can bomb us, but there can't be any ground invasion. Like, that was a proposal.
That is, of course, not acceptable.
Wait, let me ask you this.
I would have accepted that deal if I were like. I don't see why you
would have. Hostages there, and they're not soldiers.
No.
They call any man a soldier, and they call any person that was like in military service a soldier.
No. They
have one soldier right now. Okay, Matan Andres. Out of the 28 is one soldier. Okay, Matan Andres that was taken from his tank. That's it. What are you talking about? And even if there was such an offer, of course we will not leave our hostages back there. Gilad Shalit was also a hostage, and by the way, they are not prisoners of war, because if you want to use a definition that will exonerate those terrorist organizations, then if they are prisoners of war, first of all, there's a definition which they do not apply to, but then they have rights. They didn't even get a visit from the fucking Red Cross. What are you talking about calling them prisoners of war? They're hostages, and we saw exactly how they're treating them and how they're looking. So stop defending terrorism. You're a sick person. I'm listening to you, how you're calmly justifying terrorism, and you just align with anyone that will attack Jewish civilians. It's something really sick. And society has been plagued by sick people like you before, and it's not our first rodeo. But this time we have a country to defend ourselves against people like you that basically are happy when Jews die, that align themselves with anyone that will just target civilians and kill us, and then you try to come here with the moral high ground of women and children. Come on, dude. We see right through you.
Nice tension. I would say you sound very hypocritical.
I'm just happy that you're living in North America and you're about to be arrested shortly for the crimes you said in this room today.
I think you're retarded because it's not
No,
against the law to say.
Like,
Yeah, it's not against the law to say. You would have. No, I don't. I'm not a company now.
You're right. They're just gonna investigate into your whole life and see if you ever supported Hamas financially, and if you did, if you sent any kind of money to them at all, or any kind of terrorist organization, that's a federal offense, and you will go to federal prison for that.
How do I send money to Hamas?
Don't worry. There's ways people do it, and I'm sure you've sent or donated money to some kind of organization that says that they support the Palestinians, and then if there's further investigation into it, they'll see that it's actually money going straight to Hamas.
Yeah, but then you can't prove that I.
Oh yeah, they can prove it very easily.
Wait, Josh, you said about the Palestinian cause, right?
No, he said he supports Hamas in this room earlier today.
It's the same. The Palestinian cause is the destruction of Israel, and Hamas is just a name. I mean, Hamas is just a name, guys. I mean, it's PIJ, it's Hamas, it's PFLP. I mean, look, even at the PLO logo, their logo, all of them is the entire land of Israel. The Palestinian cause is the destruction of Israel. So there's a big difference between someone that says that they are pro-Palestine and pro-Palestinians. If you can't have a Palestinian, it's either or. You cannot have both.
Hamas's 2017 revised charter.
It was not revised.
No, I know exactly where it's going, because all the pro-Palestinians let me do this, okay? The pro-Palestinians cannot read. They let others do the thinking for them. If he had actually read the 2017, whitewashed, I don't know how you call it, Western-ready version, you would see that they would accept the 67 border, asterisks, while keeping the armed struggle against the entire land of Israel that they see as occupied. So don't really, they just want to advance their forces. They don't want to accept a two-state solution. So go read and don't let others do the thinking for you.
Josh, first of all, Daniel is right. They did use that that bullshit document as a stepping stone. They clearly said that. But also, that was not a revised charter. That was merely a comment made by senior official. That was not even like a revised charter. That was just some document, or like they literally didn't mean it as revised charter. They just meant it as a strategic tool. But second, just out of curiosity,
you can say that. Well, it is what it is.
Well, yeah, it
is what it is. But it says that they will continue their struggle against the entire land of Israel. That they see the entire land as occupied, and this is the struggle to get all the Zionists, which is just like they did, find and replace all the Jews that they had in the 88 charter to the 2017, whatever it is, version. Just replace Jews with Zionists. But basically, go read. It's not that long. Actually, it's a fascinating document. Don't let others tell you what's there.
Out of curiosity, Josh, you support Palestinian.
I've read it before.
You support the Palestinian cause, whatever it stands for. I don't really care. Do you support what happened on October 7th?
Of course he supports it. He says it's the resistance. That's what he said.
No, Josh, do you support it?
He said it already before.
Okay. Josh, do you think October 7th has gotten Palestinians closer or further away from their goal?
Actually closer, but I don't know if it was worth it. Well, more and more people are more sympathetic to Palestine than they are to Israel.
So Palestinian cause is just
Can I look?
Yeah, sorry, go on. Yeah, go on.
Okay, so they have a representative seat at the UN. What's happening is they're winning the hybrid warfare. I don't know if it's worth what they're losing in the kinetic warfare, because a lot of people have died. However, oh shit,
this guy's a retard. My God. Yeah, they're winning the warfare online. That's more important than getting Gaza leveled to the ground. Yeah, that's more important.
More countries.
These people use the Palestinians as a pawn, a political pawn, and that's all. He doesn't give a shit about the Palestinians. No. First of all, don't tell me to let him finish. This is my room. I can say whatever the fuck I want. And this guy is sitting here using these people for fucking political pawns, bro. It's disgusting, and he doesn't give a shit about if they're alive or dead. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, well, I just said the exact opposite.
Yeah, we know, and you're lying through your teeth. We know.
No, I just... Well, you're not gonna believe. I don't even see the point of me being here if you're just gonna disregard everything.
We like you being here because we like to show everybody how stupid you are. So it's actually good. It's like it's like a show. It's great.
Josh, out of curiosity, you say that it's like important for Palestine to be winning, like in what you say is like information war versus against like hybrid war. So if every single Palestinian,
I never said more important. I said no. I said the opposite. I said I don't think gaining the world's sympathy and getting people to finally wake up about Israel Palestine was worth all these debts.
So you don't think October 7th was worth it?
No, I mean, I don't know. It's a tough question. I think that's a question that it's not for me to answer. That's up to Palestinians. You should ask Palestinians if they think. I would imagine if you ask...
Palestinians think. I know exactly what they think. I can read the polls and say that Palestinians will support October 7th again, and again, until all Jews are eradicated from Eretz Israel. I can read that. I know they support it 100%. They're all on board. That's why civilians don't disclose any Hamas information. That's why so many civilians participate in October 7th.
Hold on. So, Josh, did you hate Jews before October 7th?
No. I mean, my you married a Muslim.
No. Why do people interrupt them? I have a point. Did you hate Jews before October 7th?
I mean, October 7th wasn't when I got into all this.
No, I know, like in 2017 on October 7th, exactly. October 7th, 2017, you were at the memorial to the murdered Jews and you were standing up on and basically like mocking the memorial.
I wasn't mocking. I wasn't aware of.
No, you were. So I'm just wondering how long your hatred runs, like how far it runs.
So, I honestly did not mean to mock that. I don't care, and I'm still not going to take it down because my sister commented on that post saying how much we loved it and she passed away. That's why I leave it up. But and she married a Jew, and the Jew that she married liked that photo, and my Israeli friend liked that photo. And you see, this was when you post a picture like that in 2017, no one really cared. Like, it wasn't a sensitive topic. Like, it wasn't like people didn't look at that and say, oh, now the climate is different. Now everything is different because,
So was your sister married when she passed away?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
And
her last name was Ramirez, right?
No, her last name was, her married name was Dean Kluger.
Dean Kluger. What was her first name?
Stephanie. Oh, Ramirez is my sister-in-law, my brother's wife.
Oh, but you said my sister commented on this above this text, right?
She said something like, I want to frame this.
But Josh, why did you change your picture from yesterday?
What did I have yesterday?
Your Instagram PFP.
So her before married name was...
No, my Instagram PFP is always the same.
So you
mean, yeah. I changed it.
Kluger.
Okay, no, fair enough.
So you changed your last name from Dean to Sirota?
No, Dean Kluger is because her husband's parents, Dean, I think, was a mom and Kluger was a dad, I think.
Josh, you're Muslim?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. So, out of curiosity, you believe in Quran wholeheartedly, right?
No, but hold on, guys, man, stop. Hold on for a second.
Yeah, I'm not getting into religion now.
Do you hate Jews because did something happen with the passing of your sister? Is that what happened?
No, not at all.
So then, where did the Jew hatred come from?
It's not, all right. Let's just say it is Jew hatred for the sake of argument. Sheikh Shada, 2021. Is when I started learning about this stuff more intensely. But to be honest, I watched Schindler's List when I was 12 with my parents. And I asked my mom, in the end, when they're walking on the train tracks, I was like, so where are they going now? And she was like, from there they went to Israel, a lot of them. And then she made a comment, something like, it's sad because they're doing the same thing to the Arabs that what was done to them, which I understand is not exactly the same, but you get what she was saying.
No,
And,
I don't get what you're saying.
Yeah, I know you
I don't get what she's saying at all. She's
and my mom.
She's verbal diarrhea. Just
Sure. So there's another story where my parents went to my parents.
You speak with such conviction. You know that it's actually this is indicative of your generation today as well. That know nothing about the region, know nothing about what's actually going on. Yet you seem to speak with such, conviction and truth, and it's fascinating to me that you people, pseudo-intellectual people, actually have zero.
Why did you convert, Josh? You look
well,
like a happy kid, like putting the star on the Christmas tree. Like, why would you? What happened?
Why did I convert to Islam? What is that? Are you asking why?
Jesus. Sorry.
I don't know if you're asking why I converted to Islam. Like I said, I'm not going to open the can of worms of religion right now because I always know
it's not a can of worms of religion. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of where your Jew hatred came from.
You want to know my
why you converted? Is it like you converted and then started hating Jews, or did you hate Jews and then that's why you converted? Like I'm trying to put like the whole picture together. I just find it's very obscure to me that somebody would have to. You do and openly admit that they support Hamas, that they support Hezbollah, that they support the IRGC.
Well, I imagine you would have supported the Irgun if you were alive in the 30s.
Yeah, except we're not talking about the 30s. We're talking about 2025.
Hold on,
Yeah,
to be clear, Irgun attacked, Irgun, I'm pretty sure, did not have an explicit anti-Arab policy. I'm pretty sure they were very anti-British. So the only way you would qualify like them to IRGC or something is if IRGC explicitly attacked IDF, which they do not. Just so we're clear.
You're getting answer on why you hate Jews, like Josh.
Well, I told you, from a young age, my parents told me they went to Israel and they had a Mossad driver as their driver. And he pointed over.
I wouldn't say I'm an ex-Muslim. Come on. Okay.
Yeah. Well, my dad.
Okay.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because my stepdad's Jewish, and he has a really good friend who served in the IDF, so I imagine he got that connection from him. And the driver was laughing and pointing over the wall and said, "Look, we keep the Arabs up there like dogs." And I was like, but I didn't really get into Israel-Palestine. I always knew that story. And then I got in more and learning more about Israel-Palestine during Sheikh Jarrah.
So your stepdad's Jewish.
Do you even know the story about Sheikh Jarrah? Do you know?
That's where the name Sirota comes from. Hold on, because my headphones died. Give me a second.
Guarantee this guy doesn't even know the story about Sheikh.
Yeah, I know Ryan's viewpoint. Like Sheikh Jarrah was on lease or something.
Retarded beyond belief.
Yeah.
Sheikh Jarrah, Shimon Sadiq, and honestly, I don't know why you guys are even engaging with it.
Well, I don't want to engage. I want to get as much info as I can to get to the FBI.
Israel until you ask